Welcome to episode 62 of Movies and Us. I am TJ.
And I am Marcus. How that
And
sounds? They're going to go in and out?
I wasn't paying attention. I never pay attention when you talk. And this is the review show that reviews movies. Genre movies, I should say. From the beginning. Sometimes. I guess every movie's a genre movie, but, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Did we have that conversation before?
Probably. But, you know, it just gives us an excuse just to cover one topic.
I guess. Until my picks come out. My picks.
Until your picks that disrupt the whole, process of the whole thing. We got like 14 superhero movies up. Now here's a review of Sing Street.
I'm really excited for my next one. It might isolate some viewers, and I can't wait.
All right, so we're covering an animated movie today.
Yay!
Wonder Woman 2009. It is an hour and 13 minutes long, which is always appreciated.
Very, very much so.
It was directed by Lauren Montgomery, screenplay by Michael Jelenic. Story by Gail Simone, who's a famous DC writer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Michael Jelenic. I'm going to bring this up here because it says it's based on the Wonder Woman Gods and Mortals storyline by George Perez and Greg Potter and Len Ren.
Oh, okay.
But it's very loosely based on it.
Oh, okay.
Very loosely. Like, almost unrecognizably.
Really?
Yes.
Fuck, I guess we'll get into that, huh?
Yep. It is produced by Bruce Timm, who pretty much is the animated universe at this point. And it is starring Kerry Russell, Nathan Fillion, Alfred Molina, Dr. Octopus.
Are you surprised by that?
Dr. Octopus himself. No. But his voice was distracting.
It was. Very much so.
I was like, why is Dr. Octopus talking to me?
Yeah. Peter Parker isn't this, is he?
No, not at all. Marg Helgenberger?
Oh, you skipped one.
I know. I did it on purpose.
Racist.
Olivier Platt or Oliver Platt?
Oliver
Platt. Virginia Madsen, Sky Arnish, John DiMaggio, Julianne Grossman, Vicki Lewis, David McCallum, who's from NCIS, Jason Miller, Rick Overton, Andrea Romano, Tara Strong, and Bruce Timm, and Rosario Dawson.
Now, why'd you skip her for?
Because she's the biggest name. This besides Alfred Molina.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah. I mean,
not Kerry Russell or Nathan Fillion. I think most of these names are pretty power. Even Alfred Platt. I think most of these names are like powerhouses. I think her name, how do you say her name?
Rosario Dawson.
Rosario, there we go. I think she's more powerhouse recently because of Star Wars, I guess, and stuff like that. But
I'm just talking from a pure Marvel standpoint, Marvel and deep superhero standpoint.
What's she doing, Marvel?
She was in all the Netflix Marvel TV shows. So as far as superhero things are concerned, if someone's watching us do a review on an animated Wonder Woman,
that's fair. Yes,
Rosario Dawson's probably the one they're going to recognize more than anyone else, unless they're really into movies and who's behind everything.
Like people like me. That's fair.
Yeah, that's all.
Well, there's no box office here, so I still want to talk about box office, though.
Okay. Go ahead, talk about your stupid box office.
No, what? You're stupid, TJ. We're going to
You don't want to waste. You don't want to wait for actual box office.
Well, I'm going to top 10 this box office because none of the movies we're reviewing this year made the top 10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, do you want to talk about? There's nothing box office wise here, is there, for this movie?
No.
Oh, you said wait for next movie. Okay. No, I'm getting out the way now.
Okay.
Yeah, because nothing made top 10. Something barely made top 15, so that's something. But top 10 this year, number 10. I'm doing a whole 10. Number 10 was The Hangover. Number 9.
Oh, that movie is.
Have you seen that movie?
Did I see that movie?
Bradley Pitt.
I might have. I think I might have because I liked Zach
Galifianakis
as a comedian.
Oh, okay.
And I might have checked his movie out because of that.
Yeah, so it's of the three of those movies, that's the best one, obviously. It's good. It's a good movie. The Fred doesn't age well.
It's a bad movie, but still.
What? You're crazy. Did you like number 9? Number 9 was Angels and Demons, the Da Vinci Code sequel. The sequel to Da Vinci Code. Tom Hanks in.
Wasn't Da Vinci Code just like a mystery?
It's based off a book. I think there's 3 of them, so yeah.
Wasn't there like? Isn't it just a mystery about a painting or something?
It's about maybe the Mona Lisa. I couldn't tell you, man. I haven't read those books.
What does that have to do with?
It's biblical. It's biblical.
What does that have to do with angels and demons?
It's biblical. It's about like
angels and demons, a mystery.
The books are like national treasure for religious people. So that's what it's like. I haven't read them, but it's supposed to be like in that realm of shit.
My uncle read the Da Vinci Code, and he told me that the writer like explains every detail of a room, and I'm like, nope.
Yeah, no.
I tune out very early when people start explaining stuff to me. So I hate explanations. Like I hate descriptions.
I like it to a point, personally.
Like, I can't visualize things like that in my head too well, honestly. And I usually just implant my own thing there anyway, so I don't need your description.
I like descriptions like when it's necessary and like when it's building tension. I do like that.
Well, you know, when you're writing like a book, it's necessary, but I don't need to know about the speck of dirt on the ground.
Yeah, that's just part of the story. Like, the dirt's there from another area because the guy was from that area to this area because he's a killer or some shit.
Yeah, but
so I don't mind that.
I don't need to know how many panels are on the wall or...
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying.
You really all you need is atmosphere and basic description and, you know, what is going on. Like, say it's a warm summer day and you want to express that it's hot there. You would write, you know, maybe someone's sweating and stuff like that, and the sun's shining or stuff like that.
Yeah.
You write descriptions based on what's needed for what you're trying to convey.
Not the sun's out and he's sweating so much that the sun's dripping to his eyes. He wipes his eyes and now his hand's a little musty. You don't need that much detail. Just, it's hot, they're sweating, that's it.
Well, unless his hands wet and sweaty comes into play later.
Yeah, like holding a weapon, he slips a weapon or something. But if it does come into play later,
if it ties into the story, then sure, add the extra description.
Yes.
But if it doesn't, it's not necessary.
Yeah. So go from one book adaptation to another.
Just like this, I'm not on this. You got me into writing.
I know, God damn it. I'm trying to get out of it. There's like 3 book adaptations in a row, so.
But character description.
Yeah.
I hate writing character description, and as a writer, it's the worst thing I hate to do.
Really?
Yeah, I hate character description.
Why? I feel it's kind of simple.
It's not that it's hard. I just hate it. I feel it takes away from the character. You know what I mean? So, like, I would rather, if someone ever reads my stuff, then put whatever they want in that character's position. I don't care if what color the character's eyes are, and if the person's black, Hispanic, whatever. I'd rather them put their own implementation of what the characters look like and feel like to look like to them in those spots, and just implant the personalities that I'm putting on them into it, unless the characteristics are important to the story.
Yeah, like I think you should put a character like they're noticeably tall because of reasons for whatever, or they're malnourished or whatever. I think those kind of things are fine. Or
if a character has 2 different color eyes and it's like a plot point.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that makes sense to make sure that these are the colors for a reason.
Yes.
Like, I usually just stick to like eye color and hair color when I'm doing a basic description.
Yeah.
And and I'm not married to it, so if you want to change it, I'm okay with it. Like, I don't understand why people get so attached to characters in books, the design. You know what I mean?
Because
it's different. It's different in a visual medium because you're actually seeing people.
Yeah,
you're seeing them. But when you're translating from a book, I would say it could be anything, whatever you want it to be.
I guess, but I just feel like if someone described it as a certain way, it kind of should match that a certain way because that's how people imagine the thing to look. Like a Hobbit's 2 foot nothing. But if they've casted a 7-foot actor, that's not a Hobbit. That's whatever.
Well, that's different. That's not explaining a particular character. That's more of a species of a race of people.
But I guess if you cast, this Hobbit's different because he's 4 foot nothing. You still cast someone who's observantly tall. Or okay, here's one. Jack Reacher is a 6'7" dude. He's tall, but you cast a totally small Tom Cruise to play that character. That's off-putting to people. and Jack Reacher's an ex-military, whatever he does. Like, and I don't get me wrong, I do like Jack Reacher, the first Jack Reacher with Tom Cruise a lot. It's a good movie, but then readapting it to the Amazon series to the tall dude, yeah, makes more sense to be more faithful to the book that way. So I get, in some points, I get it.
Well, like I said, but that Jack Reacher is supposed to be a specific type of person. It's supposed to be that way. It's tied to it. But if their physical appearance does not matter, then it doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
I guess.
Like, for instance, I'm a huge fan of the Dark Tower series by Stephen King.
Yeah.
And Stephen King describes the gunslinger in that is more like John Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's John Wayne. But in that terrible, terrible Dark Tower movie that they made, they cast Idris Elba.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Who cares?
Yeah.
You know, he's not John Wayne, but who cares? It's an adaptation from the book. It could be anybody, you know? Who cares if he's black
that's funny,
or whatever?
I think it goes into your argument of characters in these comic book movies. It's just artists recasting to a different person from John Wayne to Idris Elba. It's just, I guess, character or the artist
like I said,
thing.
There's a difference between a visual medium and a imaginative medium. You know what I mean? When you do a comic book and you're showing me what characters look like, that's a different. I'm not putting any imagination into that. You know what I mean?
But if I put enough imagination, as in I'm going to describe what a character looks like, then that's how it's going to look like. Don't recast it from John Wayne to Idris Elba or whatever to whatever.
Right, and like I said, that's
why I think people care. That's why people care, because they're
But my point is, if it's not important from a character that's not important, you know what I mean? If it's not important to their character, to what they do and stuff like that. Like, if Wonder Woman, for example, say, was never a comic book and it was a book, right?
Yeah.
And you look at Wonder Woman, correct? And you judging by her character and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Would it matter if she's black or white?
I think if you've written a certain way, then yeah.
But no, it wouldn't, because she's an Amazon and they all kind of act the same.
Yeah.
So her skin color wouldn't really matter. The only reason why her skin color matters now is because we've seen what she looks like in comic book form. But if it was in written form, it wouldn't matter unless...
It wouldn't matter. If they're written out, she's got pale skin like all the Amazonians do. If all the Amazonians have pale to bronze skin because they live where they live, then yes, they're going to look a certain way. But if they hire someone who doesn't look that way, then I can see why there's an uproar, why it's justified.
But only if they specify those things. Not every character, you don't read a book and read a character, and sometimes they don't specify, you know, whether or not they're white or black or whatever. You know what I mean? And then people get up in an uproar because of things that don't even matter.
Yeah.
Like let's go back to
and that doesn't happen in not Twilight. The Hunger Games, the little black girl.
I don't know. I never seen or read those books.
I think they hired a black girl as one of the characters, and they never mentioned what the character looks like race-wise, and so people are upset about that because they all imagine her being white, I believe.
Yeah, so that's them placing that. Here's another example. That terrible, terrible Scarlett Johansson Ghost in the Shell movie.
Yes.
People knock there for whitewashing.
Yes.
It's not whitewashing.
Why not?
Because she's an android. She's supposed to look like that. Her original form was Asian.
Mm-hmm.
And they put it into the android. If you watch the anime, she's a white chick like that. Yes. So, and in the movie, to their credit, when they showed her human form, she was Asian.
Yeah.
So that makes sense that you would make those things. But that's what I mean. People put too much care into things that don't matter.
I think yes and no. Like, I do mostly agree with you, but I do at the same time see why people care. Like, there's some instances like that I don't disagree with. Like, I agree with you, but disagree with them. But I just like, if an author puts the effort to describe someone who looks like this visually, it should match the features that they described. All the other features, who the cares?
But what if the author says, I don't care?
Then that's fine.
And plenty of them have said, who cares?
Yeah, because it doesn't matter. Just here's the character. As long as you get the character's traits and the meaning and the storyline, all the main parts of the story, that's what matters, obviously. The looks don't give a who cares? And I agree with you on that. But I still believe if you're trying to adapt something to be more faithful to a book and it captured a lot of audiences, you should kind of meet those expectations a little bit.
Only if it's important to the character and the story.
I guess. Yes and no. I feel. So yeah, I get where you're coming from.
I just that's my whole thing. Everybody is very superficial with things the way they look.
Yes.
On both sides too.
Yeah. But it's because we're visual creatures, I guess, and it's a visual medium, and I guess
that's my whole thing. The whole translation from not a visual medium, to a visual medium.
If
there's no prior visual of these things, and if the author did not really give a big explanation of how this character is supposed to look, then sure. But if it's part of the story, there's a reason why this character looks this way, then they should stick to that.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like we've said it before, one of the perfect transferences was Samuel L. Jackson to Nick Fury.
Mm-hmm.
It's just perfect casting. So, but like, I don't know. You got me into writing and my hatred of just writing descriptions. So it's just so boring. I find it so boring.
I guess because it's boring and it locks you down to something which you don't want to be locked into. I guess you like the open-mindedness of shit.
The only thing that's worse than describing a character is describing a place. I hate descriptions.
I like them,
but I know places need to be described.
Yes,
but I find it so boring. I don't care how many houses are here, where they're placed. It's like I'm not a freaking architect. I don't care.
Well, I think if you just described it in just enough detail, you're fine. You don't have to go over the top with it. But if you do it like right in the middle of vagueness and detailedness, you're fine.
Well.
They live in a cul-de-sac where there's an abundant amount of houses.
But that's only if you're not creating a world from scratch.
I guess even if creating a world from scratch, they're in a forest area. This area is more thick than usual forest, I guess. The trees are higher.
You have to explain how the city works, how it is, what kind of people are there. What is it diverse? Is it not diverse? Is it military? Is it normal?
Then you picked the wrong genre to write for. You're creating a world and don't want to detail the world.
Oh, I know. I just
you don't think.
You know what my problem is? I love telling stories. I hate writing them.
Vocalize it. Like you do the audio, do the voice, the audio thing.
You still got to edit the goddamn thing, even if you did that.
Hire someone for it. Anyways, number 9 in the box office. I just said that. Number 8 in the box office is another story movie or book adaptation, Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, Sherlock Holmes is one of my favorite series.
I know it is. That's a great series. This is one with not Samuel. What's the guy's name?
Robert Downey Jr.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yep. Iron Man himself.
So yeah, I actually have Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's full, complete works of Sherlock Holmes.
How many stories are there?
I don't know.
I've always felt like it was a lot.
It's almost as big as my complete collection of Shakespeare.
Really?
Yeah, it's a giant leather-bound book.
Jesus.
With all the stories in it.
Now, Sherlock Holmes, are they short stories or are they like full-on stories?
There are short stories and there are long-form stories. Like, the most famous one that probably everyone knows is The Hounds of Baskerville.
Yeah.
And that's a long-form story.
Okay.
But there are plenty of smaller stories alone in those books, too.
Nice.
But yeah, I don't actually know if I actually seen those Robert Downey Jr. ones, though.
They're okay.
I know I seen the black and white Peter Cushing ones.
I was going to say, are there any good Sherlock Holmes movies, or is that just better as a story? Maybe as a TV show. No, they've done TV shows for this.
The Peter Cushing movies are really good.
Okay, so we're just talking about this, right? So Sherlock Holmes, as what they describe him as this certain person, right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember they adapted the show recently, and I think they hired Lucy Liu for it to play Sherlock Holmes.
Huh?
Lucy Liu, you know who Lucy Liu is, right?
Yeah.
They hired. It was a TV show based, and I think they readapted it to whatever time period, and she was the Sherlock Holmes in that story. How do you feel about that?
I don't know. I don't even know what you're talking about. Like, I know there's a TV show about, like, the niece of Sherlock Holmes or something. Is that what you're talking about?
Maybe. I don't know. I know she plays a Sherlock Holmes character. I don't know if it's the Sherlock Holmes himself or, like, her version of it, essentially.
Well, see, Sherlock Holmes, as long as you get the character out, anybody can be a Sherlock Holmes.
Okay.
As long as he's got his Watson. Like, for instance, House, MD, the TV show about doctors, is a Sherlock Holmes story.
It really is, isn't it? I never thought about that.
he's got his Watson, he's got his solves his mysteries and stuff like that. So, what's funny about Sherlock Holmes is that Sir Arthur Conan Doyle actually based the character of Sherlock Holmes off of a doctor who was like that, who deduced stuff like that, and that's where he came up with this idea. And then House is based off of that. That's
funny. That's really interesting.
Yes. So
I read somewhere that he, at a certain point, he really hated Sherlock Holmes. That like he wanted to like just ruin Sherlock Holmes images. So like he's it's elementary, my dear boy Watson was supposed to be a thing that people should hate from Sherlock Holmes. But it turned around and like people actually liked that a lot from him. So I read that once. I was like, oh, that's interesting. But yeah,
he tried to kill him off at one point.
Yeah, like that's fascinating. I didn't know. I like when people start hating their creations. That's like it's great to me.
Yeah. But as for good adaptations, the Benedict Cumberbatch Sherlock show's awesome.
It was good up to a point, and then it's like, you know what? They kind of jumped the shark for me. But that was a good show for a minute.
You say you jumped the shark, but the books kind of jumped the shark too. So so they kind of just follow different storylines from the book. So
yeah.
I can't even. The show is exactly what it was supposed to be. I mean, they changed a few things, obviously.
Of course.
Like some major twists in that, and some of the villains are just for that show. But
Yes. So number 7. Going to another book series, TJ.
You're the one that wanted to do this.
We're literally 23 minutes into this. I didn't know it was going to last. This is like the longest the box office ever lasts. It's not my fault that they had 3 movies in a row are based off of books. Number 7, Twilight Saga, New Moon.
Oh, God. I just talked about this on my other podcast with Sean.
This movie itself, or just Twilight in general?
Not the specific, just Twilight, because we just did an anime review of a anime called Vampire Knight.
Okay.
And it was terrible. Felt very Twilight-ish, but it came out in 2004. We weren't sure when Twilight came out. So
I think 2004.
So we weren't sure if it was based off that. So which means it was probably before. I mean, I don't know. Whenever the manga was written, because the mangas are usually written before the.
No, Twilight came out in 2008.
Oh well, but when were the books?
Oh shit, that's an even better question.
That's my whole point.
Yeah. 2005 was published. 2005, 2008.
Okay. So no, I guess it wasn't.
Yeah.
Well, we answered that question on the wrong podcast.
Well, now we know. Now, it motivates your viewers to go listen to that podcast now.
But see, the difference is that podcast it should be released by the time this one gets released. But the difference between that podcast and this podcast is that podcast, there is no research involved.
I like to research and make sure my facts are somewhat proper. So going to Twilight 2, number 6 is Up.
That's a great movie.
I thought it was overhyped. I thought the beginning is good, but I thought it was like, it's not that, it's sad. It's sad, guys. I'm not going to say it's not sad.
Like the first 15 minutes is like a masterpiece.
It is, but it's like, guys, like, why is everyone crying? Like, she's going to die. Oh, sorry, spoiler. But someone's going to die. It's just, big sorry, guys. Come on. Number 5 is a masterpiece, though. So I'll say number 5 is 2012.
No idea what that is.
It's dumb. Roland Emmerich, John Cusack, disaster movie.
Oh, that's the disaster.
Yeah.
The apocalyptic movie. Okay.
That's not good. Not good.
I don't think I've seen an apocalyptic disaster movie since, Independence Day, maybe?
That's probably the last good one. I know there's San Andreas with The Rock.
That's not a good movie either.
Independence Day?
No.
You shut your mouth, TJ.
It's
shut your whore mouth. You're crazy. That's a great
It's a bad,
the sequel's movie.
Bad. No, that movie's terrible. Have you seen it
I watch it all the time. I love that movie. Every time it's on,
it's definitely turn your brain off popcorn movie. But it's a bad movie overall.
The only part I can't get over is how a Mac from the 19 whatever can stop an alien force. But besides that, it's a good movie. It's so enjoyable.
Mars Attacks is better than that movie.
I love Mars Attacks too. Anyways, number 4. Yeah, we're still in the box office. Number 4, Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen.
Let's not talk about Transformers.
No, they're bad. Number 3, Ice Age 3: Dawn of the Dinosaurs.
I don't think I've seen an entire one of. Know what I've seen of those movies? The chipmunk shorts.
The little squirrel doing his thing.
Yeah, that's the only thing I've seen of those movies.
That's all I need to see. The first one, I remember, it was okay. But I saw that so long ago when I was young.
I know Dennis Leary's in it.
He plays the Sabretooth. John Leguizamo is the Sid.
And isn't
Ray Romano is the Wow, that's a cast. Who picks those three? Oh man. Number 2 is Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince.
Is that the 6th one?
It's Sorcerer's Stone or Philosopher's Stone, whatever you're at. Then it's Chamber of Secrets, right? And then Prisoner.
Yes.
And then Goblet. And then this, I guess?
No, I think this is the 6th one. I think the 5th one's The Rise of the Phoenix.
Oh, you're
or something
right.
like that. And I think this is the Half-Blood Prince. I think the one where Dumbledore dies.
Yes. Yeah, because it'll reveal that Snape was the Half-Blood Prince, right?
Yeah,
or is it the next one he dies?
No, he should die in the 6th one. At least he did in the books. Snape dies in the last book.
Number 6, you're right, number 6.
I think the 6th one's the last one I've seen as movie-wise.
So what's after Half-Blood? Is it? It's
the 2-part Horcrux one.
Yeah.
Which is just one book in
Yes, they just had to get extra money out of it.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen either of those 2 movies though. I don't really like the adaptation of the movies.
Thank God, the only one. I haven't read the books, but the movies I just do not. They're not rewatchable. They're so dreadfully boring to me. It's just not my fandom, man.
The books are so much better.
I hope so.
And there are just characters completely eliminated.
Yeah. From
the movies that are in the books.
Okay.
And Harry Potter, I hate him.
Why?
Well,
in the books or the movies, or just in general?
Well, I hate him in the movies because they portray him as this heroic guy, but in the books, he's a little shit. He's not even nowhere near as heroic at all in the books.
I wouldn't even say he's that heroic in the movies.
He's
more
typical,
so, I guess.
He's typical movie protagonist hero, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he's not really like that in the books. The only character I hate more is Ron Weasley.
Wow, you're just like trying to get hated on this podcast.
I hate him so much. Well, it's funny. A girl who used to work at our work, she got me to start like reading the books and stuff like that and getting into it because she really liked it.
Yeah.
And so I did. And then I was like, I don't know, before the last book came out. It was before the last book came out, and I was reading it, and I went off on a speech about how much I hated Harry Potter and the actual character, because I do like the books.
Yeah.
But like the actual character, and she's like, and she had the last book had come out. I just hadn't read it yet. It just had came out, and she read it, and she's like, you just gave the exact speech Voldemort gives in the Harry Potter book.
That's funny.
I did the Voldemort speech without even knowing it.
That's good. That's awesome.
So that's how much I hate Harry Potter.
That's great. I'm glad you're Voldemort. That's awesome. Makes so much more sense now, Bob. But yeah, Harry Potter has just been not my nerd. It's not my fandom. I appreciate people liking it. I get it, I guess, but I couldn't get into it.
I liked it.
I respect
that. But then
that.
again, I give everything a chance. I read the Twilight books.
No, I give most things chances too. I saw these movies. I'm not gonna read the books because I don't care enough to. But
the books are actually really good. They're not long either.
I know, and I have them all in my house. Actually, I'm not gonna put my time to it. And number 1 in 2009. Can you guess what number 1 is, TJ?
Pirates.
Nope. It made $2.7 billion.
Hold on, let me think. We already did Harry Potter.
It was the most popular movie ever. They're just finally making a sequel to it.
Avatar?
Yeah, it's Avatar.
I hate that movie.
It's visually
I've never hated a movie as much. I never hated a movie so much that I have never seen before.
Why do you hate it? Do you hate it because it's popular? Do you hate it because of who's behind it? Do you hate it because of the story itself? Like, what do you hate about the movie you've never seen that I'm going to make you watch eventually?
Because, well, all those reasons. One. For one. And I know the gist of the movie, and it's just every environmental story ever told. It's not impressive.
Nope, it's Pocahontas, it's Dance of the Woods, it's all the indigenous people are right, Earth is better, don't come and colonize this place.
It's not a good movie. It's held up by visuals, and that's it.
It's literally style over substance.
Yeah, I hate those movies. And I think there's only one movie that I hate more based on things that I have never seen before.
What?
And I think it's Joker.
Oh, well, we'll get to that. Yeah. But yeah, it re-pushed the 3D aspect in movies back, which sucks. But yeah, the movie, it's a pretty movie when I saw it. But my God, that movie is long and dumb and pointless.
There's a reason why they waited 15 years to make a sequel, because they knew the story was terrible and they needed to figure out how we're going to do it.
TJ, please let the review. This is the longest we've gone without talking about the movie in our podcast yet, I think. This review is going to be so much longer than the damn movie. Holy shit.
Well, to be fair, we didn't even finish the first part of the thing before we got into it.
Oh, God, no, we didn't?
No, because you were doing box office. Did we finish box office?
Yeah, number one was Avatar.
Okay. There you go. So, to the actual movie that we're supposed to be covering.
Which is Wonder Woman, in case you guys forgot.
Yeah. We have to do the behind the scenes. Which, there's not much behind the scenes.
No, there isn't.
But there was an interesting tidbit that I saw. They had to cut down some of the action scenes, redo some of the action scenes, because when they originally proposed it for rating, they got an R.
Really? I mean, I'm not surprised, because the things I saw in this movie, like, damn.
Yeah,
they did that?
Yeah. It said many action scenes had to be edited after the first cut of the film because it received an R.
That's awesome. So, that's really cool. So, is this PG-13? There's no way this is PG.
PG-13, yes.
Okay. Because there's blood in this. This can't be a kid's movie.
Because I got the Wonder Woman commemorative edition.
The 2011 one, I guess?
I don't know. No, it's not definitely 2011. I'll talk about it. Why I know
trailers,
that
okay.
From the trailers, yeah.
God, we still got to do trailers. Oh my God.
Yeah, I will tell you in a moment when this, just by the one movie that is a trailer for. Yeah, this at least came out either before or after 2017, this version of the Blu-ray I have.
Okay.
All right, but yeah, I think that's it for the behind the scenes stuff. There wasn't much to talk about other than it didn't hold on, I clicked off it to go back into it. Yeah, apparently it did slow sales or something like that, because the guy who Bruce Timm, the guy who produced this film, wanted to do a sequel.
Yeah, I saw that,
but it was canceled due to slower sales of the film.
That's sad.
I don't know what that means. What does that mean, due to slower sales?
They expect X amount of dollars by a certain point, and then I get those X amount of dollars by that point. That's all.
So they didn't make as much money as they wanted to in the amount of time they wanted to.
Yes.
It
made $10 million in a year rather than 6 months or some shit. Whatever their goal was in the time frame. Yeah, it's tough. It's a good movie.
So even though the movie could have made the money that they wanted to make, they didn't make it in the time they wanted it, so it's automatically loses.
Yeah, because they figure if it didn't make it in that time, it probably won't meet the ideal money they want overall. Okay. So they're going to just scrap the sequels. Not worth their money and their time.
All right.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That's it. That's the last of the behind the scenes stuff. So before we get into the movies, since we have to go with the trailers that I got. So my first trailer is I got a trailer for Wonder Woman, the live action Wonder Woman.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that came out was it 2017?
Yeah, but I don't know if it was a trailer for the upcoming movie or if it was
go by it.
If Wonder Woman was coming out,
and
we got a trailer for it, or if it had already come out.
Gotcha.
So, and then I got a trailer for Teen Titans: The Judas Contract, an animated movie that we'll cover.
Huh. Okay.
Where are we in 2009? Maybe 7 years from there or so.
It comes out 2017.
Yeah. So.
Oh no, 2016. There's two of them. Damn it.
And then, this is the movie you're going to be looking forward to most that we're going to be covering.
Oh no, it's a Batman.
DC Superhero Girls.
Woo!
Hero of the Year.
God, so terrible.
The trailer wasn't very good.
Don't do this to me, teaser. Why are we doing this?
That's what we're going to cover it. Don't worry.
No, we're not.
Yes, we are.
There's so many of them, DJ.
There's only 3 of them.
That's still too many of them.
Know how I know? Because I got it in a 3-pack.
Oh, guys. Hero of the Year. There is Legends of Atlantis.
Uh-huh.
And Superhero High.
Yep.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, the animation
What?
looks so bad.
It's gonna be amazing.
Oh, it's so ugly. This came out in 2016. It looks like it came out in 2006. Ew. That might be good, though. It might be really riveting. Who knows? It might be like, damn, this is really deep.
However, I will point out
Yeah.
that, hold on, where is it? Is it Superhero High Hero of the Year? Which one is it that we're going to cover?
A Hero of the Year.
Hero of the Year.
I mean, all three of them, but yeah.
So, Hero of the Year is only an hour and 16 minutes. All right. I guess we can dive into this actual movie.
It's funny, 'cause I didn't hate this movie, so I'm surprised we took this long to get to it. Oh, man.
So, we open up in the ancient past, and we get a large battle between the Amazons and Ares and his monsters.
Are they monsters?
There's a lot of monsters in there. There's like orcs and flying things.
Oh, yeah.
There's some people in Ares' band. And the first thing I noticed is that there's a lot of decapitations in this movie.
Lot, and it's glorious. This is not like for kids, guys.
And, you know, it's just a giant battle scene where we get introduced to the characters. We get introduced to Hippolyta, the queen of the Amazons, and Ares. And apparently they had a relationship at one point.
Yeah, and they mentioned it too. You were good in bed and not good, blah, blah, blah. Like, damn.
Yeah, but she says that he forced the son upon her. So I don't know what that implications is.
So either it was all rape from him, or maybe it was a consensual thing at first, but then, again, we don't know the backstory for these two, but maybe some shit happens and he forced himself on her later. Yeah.
If we're talking about Greek mythology,
yeah,
chances are
yes,
Ares was disguised as someone else.
That's very factual.
So
that's very, very factual. Hell, Zeus comes in this movie a few times, so yeah, you're probably right.
So yeah, so it's probably one of those situations. I don't know. It's very weird. But we get introduced to other Amazons. Artemis, which
is she the fighter one?
Yeah, she's the very aggressive one.
Okay.
Which not in the lore from
Wonder Woman lore or from Greek lore?
I mean, she's in DC, but she's from another tribe of Amazon. She's not even from Themyscira. She's from a tribe called Beni Migdal.
Yeah.
And she's actually like a more popular recent character that I think they just added into this movie.
Well, I mean, I like her a lot in this.
I mean, but she she's not part of Themyscira at all. So
yeah.
She's definitely just an addition that they decided to put in here.
They probably figured we have this kind of character. Are there any other characters that ever exist in this world?
Yeah, but honestly, they had plenty of Amazons to choose from who could have played the role. I think they put her in there for name recognition?
Probably. That's definitely be it, probably.
I just want to look up something that I forgot to look up real quick.
Very good. I liked her. I liked all the characters in this a lot. Well, besides Nathan Fillion's character.
Which one's that?
The main guy.
Oh, okay. We'll get to him too.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I just looked it up.
Yeah.
And one of the Amazons, Persephone.
That was which one was that one?
The one with who loses her eye.
That's okay. Yeah.
Persephone also not an Amazon, from what I understand.
Huh.
But Persephone in Greek mythology is the wife of Hades.
Oh, is she really?
Yeah, so going into Greek mythology, essentially, she is the daughter of Demeter.
Yes.
Who is the goddess of the seasons, essentially.
Yes.
And during the reason, according to Greek mythology, why we get fall and winter is because she spends half the year down with Hades, and
that's when it's fall, or not winter.
Fall and winter, and then she comes back to her mother in spring and summer.
Mm-hmm.
So, because she was in Tartarus and ate some food, because once you eat food in Tartarus, you can't leave, but she's a goddess, essentially, so forth and so forth. But I don't understand the addition of her in this, especially since they go to Hades later, and she plays no role in that.
Yeah.
I thought for sure when we got down there, Ares was gonna give her to Hades.
Maybe it was a plot point beforehand, but like I said, they had to shorten so much of it. Maybe they just got rid of that story arc. Maybe
I don't know. I just found it weird.
Yeah.
And then we have another Amazon called Alexa.
Yes.
also not anywhere in the lore.
Really?
Yeah, I don't understand why they added all these characters.
I guess to give us more than just Diana and her mother.
Yeah, but what I mean is there are plenty of Amazons they could have taken from the comics.
But I guess they want to connect it more to the Greek side, I guess.
There are plenty of Amazons connected to the Greek side.
I don't know, man.
That's the whole point of the Amazons. They worship the Greek gods.
Who knows? Maybe they want to make it more realism instead of just using straight fake characters. Let's do historical fake characters. I don't know.
But Alexa isn't even has no ties to Greek mythology.
Maybe whoever owns Amazon may be like, "Hey guys, put Alexa in this because I got something for her later. It's gonna be a future device." Say,
also,
hey, Alexa, do this.
We got Thrax, Ares, and Hippolyta's son.
Yeah,
also not a character.
He's barely a character in this.
Hippolyta and Ares, never an item. Never an item at all. In fact, Hippolyta at one point canonically had a relationship with Zeus, and that's how Wonder Woman was born, and some before it was retconned back to the original origin. So, yeah, and honestly, this whole beginning is not how it is. So, essentially...
How it is in the comic?
Yeah, like, it's supposed to be loosely based off of this storyline, but it's not really
at all. What's the main differences?
Like, so Ares is becoming super powerful, and the other gods are becoming weak and not unable to do it because he's powered by war and stuff, and humans keep doing it. So they want the female goddesses want to create the Amazons to counteract men. Essentially, they want to create this noble race and stuff, and that's how they do, and they are and they're successful for a while, but then men are horrible, terrible people, so they're made outcasts in the world, and so Hercules actually is the one that takes an army and enslaves them.
Enslaves who?
The Amazons.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah, he tricks them essentially, and manages to defeat Hippolyta and enslave all. Like, was it? Yeah, in the comics, he fights her one-on-one, Hercules, instead of the whole war.
Yeah.
And she defeats him, and he pretends to be like, and then he drugs her.
Jesus.
And while his army takes over things, and it even implies he rapes her while she's asleep. And so eventually, the Amazons break free to do it, but they have to wear the bracers.
Yeah.
As a reminder of what had happened to them. And that's when the goddess Artemis gives and Hera's not even the goddess, it was Artemis and all the other goddesses. She's always sided with Zeus in the comics and even in Greek mythology.
Of course.
But so they gave them this island for it. Ares had nothing to do with the origin, except for he's just becoming more powerful.
Okay.
So that Hercules are pretty much replaced Ares, and then Ares being a slave to the Amazons is not a thing. And so, yeah, it's super weird. So anyway,
So did you know all this before the movie or after the movie? Did you read all this before or after?
I read the comic before. I read it the week leading up to the movie.
Did this really affect how you saw this movie?
No, I didn't mind the lore changes.
Okay.
It was baffling, some of the lore changes. I thought Wonder Woman herself was done really well.
Yeah.
But they absolutely destroy characters in this.
You think so?
Absolutely destroy characters in this. Destroy, unrepairably destroy. And then the messaging they try to do, the forced messaging throughout the entire movie. By the end of the movie, I was angry at the movie.
What forced messaging? Like the anti-man kind of shit, or like equality, or whatever?
I got it written down.
Okay, we can do it.
Yeah, I got it written down. Just all the forcedness in it. Everything feels so forced.
Yes.
I was so mad at the end of this movie.
Yeah.
And I couldn't tell if it was because of the movie's quality problem or if it was my comic fanboy side coming out.
Probably
I couldn't differentiate, but some of the messaging in this was so cringy.
Yeah.
I was like, am I wrong here? Is this good? Actually good, and I'm just not seeing it?
Maybe not. We'll get to it, I guess, because I kind of felt that's why I don't like the main character, the main male character, because I felt that's why I don't like the Wonder Woman storyline origin being general. Like, even the Wonder Woman live action that came out, just the male characters are so written purposely badly for the reason to emphasize why the female sees them in certain ways. Like, ugh.
All right, we'll get to that.
I know.
So the battle rages on, and eventually Hippolyta decapitates her own son, apparently Thrax. Then she takes down Ares, and he's about to be decapitated, and then Zeus says, "No, you're not decapitating my son. You have to spare him." And then Hera shows up and said, "Okay, you have to spare him, but he's your prisoner now. You can have an island." That's what happened.
Yeah, just like that.
But I don't understand. Ares is a god. Would decapitating him even kill him? But I don't think that's how that works.
Possibly. I mean, it would get Thor, I guess. So maybe in this, I don't know how to kill gods in true Greek mythology.
Yeah, it just feels fairly easy to kill a god by decapitating him if he's a god.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Maybe the weapons are special. I don't know.
And here's another problem I had with it.
Yeah.
Like, Hippolyta is about to kill Ares, and she's mad that Zeus is saying, "You have to spare him." And one of her lines is, "We lost everything, our men, this and that." But that's the whole point of the Amazons. They don't need men. They never had men. They didn't lose their men. What are you talking about?
She says we lost our women.
And men.
Oh, does she say men? Oh, okay.
Yeah, she says our men, our property, our soldiers, stuff like that. And I was that doesn't even, and that's the whole problem. That whole messaging behind this is like, they want to say girl power, but it's undercut by all the, men are great too kind of thing too. You know what I mean? But men are bad, but they're good too.
No, I get what you're saying, yeah.
It's like, they couldn't decide what message they wanted to tell.
That's what a lot of movies at that time, because I like any kind of stance you try to take, they still try to be like somewhat soft in it because they don't want to get rid of the other audience, I guess.
It just, and honestly, I'm trying to word this proper.
I understand. We're not sexist, guys. We're kind of
no. It's not. That's not what I'm not. It has nothing to do with sexism. It felt like they were forcing heterosexualness on the Amazons.
Oh, I can see that. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because the Amazon lore, I mean, even was always ambiguous with it. But they're an island. Only in recent years has it really become prevalent. But it's always been ambiguous. There's an island full of women. Are they not sleeping with each other?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? No. So, most of those women are at least bisexual.
Yeah.
But this one felt like Amazon saying, "We're women too. We want kids and stuff like that." And it's like, that does not go jive with the lore or how the Amazons are at all.
We have womanly needs and shit like that. Yeah.
It felt very like, you need men at times like this too. Yes. Even when they're shitting on men, which like
they do. It doesn't have a true, doesn't know what, I don't say identity crisis, but it doesn't know what it truly wants to say or how to say it. So it doesn't have the balls to say what things it want to say, I guess, proper.
It definitely feels like it's written by a man and a woman, which it is.
Yes.
So it's like they each had their own side of things. Like, you take the male side, I'll take the woman's side, and we'll just match it together.
That's fascinating, because I think it was written by two guys or two girls. It would have gone two guys or two women. I think it would have gone either way, too extreme the other way. So I think...
Right. But at least the messaging would be consistent.
I guess. I think it would definitely have been better for, obviously, by two women writing this, because two men writing it was really sexist and like, this is not good. But maybe... I don't know. I would like to see two women write this story, see how feminism and like how strong it would have gone that way.
Yeah,
interesting.
I don't know. The product that we got, I every time there was a moment I like, it was taken out of it by a moment I didn't like.
I give you that.
So anyway, the Amazons get their island, Paradise Island, Themyscira, and then we see that Hippolyta makes Diana, Wonder Woman, out of clay, and lightning strikes, and she has a baby.
Yay!
Which makes no sense.
Why not?
Not in this version. Like, the Amazons were created from a well of souls, which is purgatory in this world, essentially. And so they created all the Amazons, but one soul stayed behind, which was Hippolyta's unborn daughter in her real life. So she couldn't be brought to life until she had, the daughter. And that's how they implanted the soul in the lore in the comic. Yeah. Here, it's just like, here, you can have a child made out of dirt and electricity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It felt skimmed over and unexplained.
See, it's the fanboy side of you. For me, it was fine. Like, okay, yeah, this is how it happens. My only question was with this is, like, how often do these females do this? Like, is Diana the only person on the island now?
The only,
like, how does this happen? Yeah, so, like, do they have more children? Or she, like that was my question with it. Like,
they don't have children at all. Diana is the only child that.
So are they immortal, or are they going to die out?
Yeah,
are they doomed to die out? Like, what's
the island grants them immortality?
Okay, then that's fine. So that was my major question. Everything else besides that, like, okay, sure, why not? This is somewhat Greek mythology-ish, so I got it.
Yeah, the island is supposed to keep them young and strong and stuff like that. It's their reward, essentially, for overcoming their buns and
that's fair.
Devoting themselves to the gods. Although this movie doesn't explain that at all. So after baby Diana is born, we cut to her pretty much grown up and kicking Artemis's butt in training.
Which I think Artemis still won that fight.
Okay. It's a training thing.
I know, but like they act like Wonder Woman kicked her ass. No, Artemis had a damn blade to her throat, and she only stopped because it was a practice fight. Then Wonder Woman's just like, "Oh, got ya." Like, no, bitch, I won. So like that, and I was just praised, like, "Good job, Diana." Like, no, Artemis won that. Stop kissing Diana's ass.
I didn't really care about this because I'm looking at a character that shouldn't even exist on this island.
I know, but that to me, I don't know that, so I just saw the fight how it happened. Like, that irked my soul a little bit. But yeah.
And we get introduced to Ares, who, by the way, Ares is locked in a cell in a cave and
guarded only by the one-eyed girl.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring up, Persephone got her eye slashed in the battle because Lexa, who is not a warrior, forced into a battle, is being yelled at by her sister for not fighting. Artemis is kind of a bitch in this.
Yeah.
She's scared, and we're making her fight, and of course she's going to run away from a sword that accidentally slices Persephone's eye.
Yeah. But she's the bad. Like, no, she's a bookworm. Let her direct the battle at least. Don't make her on the field.
Why is she there? Is my whole question.
Yeah. She can lead them, sure, like, hey guys, go that way, I'll stay back. But don't make her on the front lines.
Anyway, and they have Ares locked in a prison. Like, sure, he doesn't have his powers, but he's Ares. He's the god of war. He's tactical. He's been around for thousands and thousands of years. He can't escape a cell.
I mean, I guess not because of where it's at and who's guarding it.
I guess. I don't know. It just feels like he's just in a cell. He's not even chained or anything.
Like, what else could they do with him? Chain him up, sure, but like, what else? Like, there's only so much they can do with him on the island.
Like, I don't know. See, I can conflate this with the comics. Like, the island's got plenty of places they could have stored them. Like, the island in the comics has this door under there called Dorm's Door, which is like a doorway to hell.
Oh, okay.
That they guard so that monsters can't come out. And you throw his ass in there. You know what I mean?
What's stopping him from going to talk to the other god who can stop his shackles? If it's a doorway to hell, okay, he's going to talk to Hades now. So,
I just say a doorway to hell because, I mean, technically it's just a doorway to the afterlife.
Yeah, it's like what would stop him in 100 years, a century, from like, I'm going to kill myself, or end up going to Hades, like, hey, Hades, can you get these off of me? I'll later on to get me off of whatever the I can do to get me out of here. I'm a desperate, trapped man now. So, like, I think this is from the things they plotted into this story. This is not a bad location. I think what's bad about it is that that's only one guard with him that forever.
That was my other complaint.
Yes, like, she's eventually going to feel feelings for him.
Well, that's
sexual or not. Like, you don't leave one person.
Not only just one guard, but the same guard for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. You're not rotating the guards?
Yeah, she's going to feel compassion for him eventually, and vice versa. It's going to be Stockholm Syndrome, one way or the other. Change that shit up, guys.
Like, and this also doesn't make any sense either. Like, the whole point of the Amazons is that there are no men allowed on the island.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So keeping Ares on the island makes no sense that where he can garner sympathy and stuff like that.
Exactly. So yeah, there's definitely ways they could have done it better.
Yeah, I don't know. So after that, we get a dogfight in the air, and we're introduced to Steve Trevor and a bunch of other characters that are there just to die.
When you said dogfight, I thought you meant like a genuine dogfight. Like, I don't remember dogs in this movie.
There are dogs in this movie.
No, I know, but I thought like, that's too soon for this to happen. Like, oh, you meant like airplane fight. Okay.
Yeah, airplane fight. That's called a dogfight.
Yeah, I know. I just felt really like, what? Had a block.
Anyway, so we're introduced to Steve Trevor and his sacrificial lambs, essentially.
Yep.
As these black jets show up because, they're the bad guys. They're black. Yeah. And I don't understand this part. There's a magic mirror that reveals the island when it touches it, and Hippolyta keeps touching the mirror to reveal the island.
Yeah, it's like, why are you doing this?
I don't... It's literally makes no sense.
Why does this exist and why are you doing this?
Yeah. All of her dialogue is like, we gotta stay separate. We can't let people... But yet, she's the one that caused this. It's like, what?
Like,
why did you do this?
Yeah, like, why is your motivation here is to show yourself to them now? I can see it was Diana doing it, or anyone else doing it. Because curiosity. The book girl could do it, Alexa. But the queen? Or what?
Yeah, it makes no sense.
No, not at all.
And then, so while all that's happening, Diana's out on a horse ride. And then, Steve, I wanted to say Steve Rogers. It's not Steve Rogers, it's Steve Trevor. Steve Trevor wins the dogfight, but he gets shot down just as the island's invisibility thing comes down, and he lands on the island.
Before he gets shot down, for all that happens, I'm sorry. I want to mention the pucker factor. Oh. I chuckled a lot at this. I'm a child, apparently. Apparently, when they're flying in the air in an endangered area, Steve and his crew have a term for that. It's called the pucker factor. And the pucker factor is how tight your sphincter is getting because of how dangerous the situation is. That is the pucker factor. And I love that a lot, TJ.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you loved it.
That's why I want our viewers to know that exists. It's stupid as shit, but
it was a stupid joke at the time, and little did I know it was only the beginning.
Yeah. Yes.
So Steve Rogers crashes.
Nope, Steve.
And then
what's his name?
And Steve Trevor.
There we go.
Trevor? Is it Trevor?
You said Steve Rogers, so Steve Trevor.
Well, that's because I'm wishing for a better superhero.
Wow, you're saying Wonder Woman's not a better superhero?
I'm saying Steve Trevor is a crappy superhero in this movie.
Is he a superhero?
He's just a soldier. He's more of a... But the way they portray him in this, he's a kind of a superhero.
Yeah.
Steve Trevor crashes. In every other instance of this origin, where he crashes on the island, every single time, he is not conscious what he did. I thought so. Found by Wonder Woman.
Yes.
On the island, and then brought to the Queen. Never once has he gotten out of the ship, found naked Amazons bathing, and been chased by Amazons like this. This
all the time making high school. I was a kid once liking this kind of shit jokes. Like, come on.
This characterization of Steve Trevor, I'm sorry. Steve Rogers too, if it was his portrayal of it, is character destroying and complete bullshit.
Destroying? Why is it destroying? Because he was conscious.
Steve Trevor is supposed to be the man that represents the good in man.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
He's supposed to turn Diana from her Amazonian ways to see the good side in men.
Yes.
But he's a complete misogynistic, sexist asshole in this entire fucking movie.
Thank you. Thank you.
He is by one of the worst There's only one other character that's portrayed even worse in this, and you wouldn't even pick up on it. But, oh my God, he is so terrible. He's making sexist jokes throughout the entire movie. He's objectifying every woman he comes across.
Yes.
And their portrayal of women in the real world is just insulting.
Yeah. No, that's why I hate this movie. He is, everything you just said, just like the worst qualities of a person / man could be. It's like, damn, this is who we're supposed to be rooting for, guys. this is going to turn Diana to liking men. There's no way. He's trying to get her drunk, and it backfires on him later. Like, the fuck?
Yeah, we'll get to that scene, too.
The fact that he lands on an island, like you said, full of women naked, like, I was expecting to be like, put his eyes down, like, hey, lady, sorry this is happening, but I'm lost in that crash landing.
Steve Trevor?
Yeah.
The actual Steve Trevor would have done that.
Yes,
He'd
but
be
no.
like, oh,
he's like,
I'm sorry.
He's behind a tree, like, oh, this is hot. Like, no, bro. You're just like, hey, ladies, where the hell am I? I'm a fallen soldier, not be a creep. So yeah, I'm glad it wasn't just me thinking that, because I hated him because it's terrible.
No, he is one of the worst characters in this entire movie. He is fucking terrible. He's not funny.
Not at all.
And they're trying to portray him as like this is just a defensive act. And sure, there are characters like that, but that's not this character. This is not who this character should be.
Oh,
and sure, there's a little bit of fanboy and criticism coming out in this, but it's literally character destroying.
Yes, I'm not a fanboy, and I agree with you. Like, it's just like he was just written so badly. Like, this is not. No, it's just no. Just no. Just no. Just no. That's all.
I hated it so much.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't hate it as much as you did, but I did not like this character.
No, I didn't.
I just wanted to punch him every time he was talking. I just want to punch this guy in the face.
And I was going in expecting this movie to be great because I heard nothing but good things about this movie.
Yeah.
And I don't get it, honestly. Anyway, so he's being chased by the Amazons and he gets confronted by Diana.
Like, you think he would be like, I don't know. I know he got attacked at first, but you think he would like, whoa, I'm here for peace. Like, don't attack me, guys.
Right.
So I get why you ran, but like, still, like, I don't know. Just don't run. Put your hands up. Say like, hey, we're cool, right?
And so Diana catches up with him, and they get into a little fight, which found it completely unbelievable that Steve Trevor can hold his own against Diana. But whatever.
Yeah,
that's a minor nitpick.
Yeah, I was like, she should kick his ass. There's no way.
I mean, she does kick his ass.
She does, but like he held up for a few moments.
Yeah, not quick enough in my opinion.
Yeah, I say like she should have had on his ass in a second, not this long. He should have been blocking her punches this weekly.
So they have him captured and tied up, and he's in a room full of women. He wakes up. I haven't had this dream since I was 13. Shut up.
Ugh.
Fuck you.
And that's not even like the worst thing he says in this instance either, because later
on, I got it written down.
It's like, oh my god.
And so they put the lasso of truth on him to
get straight answers out of him.
And the lasso of truth is just used to, get the true side of Steve Rogers out of this. It's nothing but a f***ing plot point, and it's just to try and make you sympathize with Steve Rogers, and it's bullcrap because he's not sympathetic.
Steve Trevor. But yes, he really isn't. There's not a single point in this movie. It's like, you know what? That guy's likable.
So he is forced to tell the truth, and we get a poop joke where he says crap, and it's like, they don't know what crap is.
Yeah, it's
but they know what idioms are.
Yes, it's like, what?
So it's like, we don't know that idiom, and then he explains, and then they're all aghast. We don't use that language here. Oh my god, you don't have curse words in your language,
right?
Really? You don't have words that you say when things are bad?
You would think so.
No, it's stupid. And then Steve Rogers makes a crack about Diana's rack. So it's like, I was completely, like, at this point, I was like, this whole origin's supposed to build these two up relationship-wise, so you want to see them together. And I don't want him to end up with her.
Yeah, no.
She deserves way better than him, and he's a scumbag.
Yes. Like, he's like the worst part of this whole movie. One of the worst parts.
They got to get Steve Rogers off the island because no one likes Steve Rogers.
Steve Trevor, TJ.
I caught myself that time. I was going to talk my way out of it, but you kind of just ruined it. Thanks.
What were you going to say? I'm curious about how you're going to get out of that.
I was going to say, Steve. What was I forget what was the sentence I started off with?
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. My bad.
I was going to say it was Captain America and stuff like that, but whatever. Doesn't matter. You ruined it. Steve Trevor.
Just call him Trevor. Or Steve.
Steve Trevor.
Or call him sexist, misogynist pig.
They need to get this asshole off the island.
There we go. Call him asshole.
They need to get Steve Trevor off the island. So they need a champion to do it. Why they just can't just have someone fly over the city and kick him out of it with a parachute? I don't know.
Right. Oh, right. Oh, man.
Because at this point, there's not like at this point they need to they have the champion in the comics because Ares is just about to take over the world essentially.
Yes.
So they need to send their champion, they're chosen by the gods, to go stop Ares. That's why they're leaving. Steve Trevor just happened to crash on the island at the time. He's just there to pretty much be her guide into the real world.
Yeah.
At this point, though, it's like, why do you need a champion to get a guy off your island that doesn't...
Especially because they have an invisible jet somehow.
So yeah, I know. That's my whole point. You have a freaking jet, so... Why don't literally fly over the city, drop them off on a roof, and be like, see ya.
Yep.
All right, so they gotta choose a champion, but Diana's not allowed to be a champion because her mother doesn't want her to be put in danger.
I'd be kind of upset if I was an Amazonian. Like, that's bullshit.
Yeah, but it's...
We're supposed to be equality here. This is bullshit. I'd be so upset. I wouldn't be upset, like, angry about, like, I question it. I'd be vocal about it.
It's, it's a mother... They don't dive into their relationship and how, Diana is her daughter, and she's thinking about it more from a mother's perspective than the actual queen's perspective.
But are they the only mother-daughter pair here?
Yes.
So yeah, I'd be like, that's bullshit. Like favoritism, any something. It's bullshit. It's not fair. But at the same time, I'm an Amazonian. I want to do it myself. So like, one less competition. So I guess I'd be cool with it.
Like, it's just a mother trying to protect her daughter, essentially. They don't really go into it here.
I know. I know that's what it is.
So it's like, whatever. It's from the comics. It's in every origin. So whatever. But since Diana's not allowed to compete, she's going to be on guard duty with...
Alexa.
with Persephone.
Yeah. Yes.
This doesn't make sense when we get to what happens. But, okay. Oh, no, because Persephone suggested to do guard duty, don't they?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, never mind. I got you.
Oh, she wanted to... Huh. I didn't think about that. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Huh, she wanted to kill the bitch. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow, why? I didn't know she hated her.
Well, because she's on Ares' side now, and Ares wants her dead.
Oh, that's right. He does say that later. Okay.
Yes.
Why does he want her dead, though? It's because it pisses off the mom? Oh, because it's like a decap. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's fair. Okay. Gotcha.
Did you watch this movie?
I did. I just didn't. I forgot she asked for her to do it, and I didn't put two and two together that she's like, oh, she wanted to kill her. It all just registered now. Okay. I didn't really critically think this movie out because I was angry at how bad this guy was written. I was like, this guy just sucks.
Okay. So the contest is happening, but Alexa shows up, who's the book girl, who was the cowardly one apparently in the battle. She's like, I'm here to cover your guard duty, so you can participate in the contest. And here, wear this helmet because no one will recognize you in this helmet.
Nice little switcheroo.
So
you don't like that?
It is. I always found it unbelievable that, these Amazons live together for hundreds and hundreds of years. They know who each other are, and they're deceived by the helmet of a thing that they've...
I believe they're not deceived. I believe the ones who are fighting Diana want to fight her and test their true might. And I believe the mother, like in this version, the mother seemed like she kind of knew, like, that's my daughter. I kind of knew it. And she's kind of proud of her.
Yeah, but it's not like that. In the comics, she's surprised when she's revealed.
I know. Because you're right. Because they should know her fighting style.
Especially her mother should know.
Yes. Her best friends, her mother, they should know that's Diana. But I think in this version, they want to test themselves. I think the mother seemed like she was kind of, okay, you got the best of me kind of shit.
That's why I kind of just let it go at.
Yeah.
You're the one that went into it.
No, I know. I just wanted to make sure you were on the same page with that. Like, I get it. I get it.
All right, so the contest is happening, and Diana is obviously winning and stuff like that. And then we get, Steve Trevor watching the championship. Like, why don't you have him locked up?
Yeah.
Why is he sitting on a throne next to Artemis watching who's going to take him to the world?
I guess because he's not really a threat.
That doesn't matter. He's not even supposed to be here.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not... It scenes like that bother me because... of fanboy reasons, because they're not from they're not from the origin, but it also adds nothing.
Yes,
you know what I mean, to the story that they're trying to tell, and it just giving the asshole more dialogue that I don't want to hear.
I give you that. That's fair.
So they're watching this happen. But then, oh no, we get a betrayal. It's Persephone kills Alexa
No!
and frees Ares.
Bum, bum, bum.
How did they get off the island?
Why are you asking questions that don't need to be asked, DJ? I don't know. Maybe there were maybe there was a second invisible jet.
Oh, okay.
How the hell did they get off the island?
I don't know. That's what goes back to my whole point of keeping him prisoner.
I don't know. They just say, hey, he's gone. They're off the island. Man, you're right. I don't know. I do not know.
And I know a lot of people who watch this just like, oh, okay, they got away.
Yeah, because I'm not thinking about it.
And no one ever thought about it. And I'm pretty sure, unless you're thinking critically about this and you're already in a bad mood criticizing it, you're like, okay, they escaped. Now what? Did they build a boat?
My headcanon is there's another invisible jet. Why is there an invisible jet in the first place on his island? That's my biggest pet peeve.
Well, that's not really. Amazon's always had more advanced technology than the modern world.
Well, see, they don't talk about that in this movie. So they're just backwards civilized people, which I'm cool with. So to have them have one random invisible jet, like how the so it's kind of like Wakanda.
Kind of, but their technology is based more around magic and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So whereas Wakanda's more technologically based.
Yes.
But they got a lot of gifts from the gods and stuff like that, and help from learning. They also have like a device in the comics that allows them to look into man's world. Okay. Essentially.
Which was okay.
So which lets them to see how technology is built in and stuff like that.
It was just very weird to see one invisible jet with all this. I know. It just threw me off so much. Like, this does not sit right with me.
This movie is very terrible at, explaining things.
Like, I could have seen if they would have had Alexa be fascinated by his jet. And then, like, oh, guys, we're going to repair this and make it better. That I could have been like, okay, cool, whatever. That makes sense. But just to have a random-ass invisible jet, I was like, the hell is going on?
We're not actually there yet, but okay.
I know. I'm sorry, but it's just like, it makes no sense to me.
Like, so Diana wins the contest, and she's revealed to be, her.
Yeah.
And so here's a change that they did that I actually did like.
Yes.
So they give her the bracers, which makes no sense that, these are the bracers of the champion or whatever. It makes more sense in the comics because it's supposed to be a symbolize of their past and stuff like that. Here, they're pretty much pointless. Anyway, but they give her the Wonder Woman outfit.
Yes.
And they say, here is the colors of the nation you're going to be an ambassador to as a sign of...
okay.
They say that that's a good change because it never made sense that Wonder Woman was red, white, and blue.
No. Stars and all that.
Star-Spangled Banner thing in the thing. Where this is just the outfit of Wonder Woman in the comics.
Yes.
But the fact that he's from America, they learned that this is his country and stuff, and they're sending her there, and this is a gesture to, in their backwards way to say, hey, we're not against you here.
Yes. Accept us, peace, and all that shit.
Yeah. So I did like that little change.
Same. That's nice.
But then they summon an invisible jet that no one's flying, so I guess they have a remote control for it.
I hate it. But then they get news that the two left.
Huh?
Then this is when they get news that the two left and they killed.
Yeah, yes, and
Alexa.
And they do that. And not one of them says, how did they get off the island?
I don't know, man. It's going to blow my mind. They had to have another jet or something. No, because let's come back up later. They just got off. They just whisked themselves off.
Did they swim? Maybe they swam.
There's no way. He's still weak.
Anyway, so yeah, Alexa's dead. Ares escaped, and now Diana's got a new goal. She's got to go stop Ares.
Yeah.
So we'll get to it later. I was going to explain. I was going to, do what Ares was doing in the comics, which is way better than what this version is doing.
Okay.
So they go to Man's World, and they land in Central Park. I don't know why they went to New York.
To get all the stereotypes of fish out of water out now.
Yeah, I know. I just don't know. But why New York?
He's from there, right? Or no?
No. Like, Diana always kind of take place in either London or Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
And Steve Treasure works for the Army military.
Oh, true.
He would go to Washington.
Yeah, not D.C., not New York City, because I don't think there's any military shit in New York City. So, yeah. Just to show how advanced humans are in America.
Oh, well, you know what?
Yeah.
maybe it's because that's where people came in from that part of the world. That's Ellis Island and stuff. Maybe that's what they were going for.
No, that's not.
But-
That's too deep, TJ. Because later on, there's some geographical questioning I got for you later on.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you
They
do. Okay, yeah.
They end up in DC anyway, somehow, but whatever.
No, I got more of a question. Yeah, that bullshit. Like, yeah. So, yeah.
So they land in Central Park where there's a bum drinking. And
Because, of course.
for some reason. Because stereotypes.
Stereotypes. An invisible jet. No one's going to believe me because I'm drunk. That cliche bullshit.
And this is where the allegories kick in.
Ugh.
They land, and there's a little girl crying on a bench because the kids who are playing in Central Park in the middle of the night with no parents,
Yep, unsupervised,
with a bum sitting on the bench drinking.
Not saying bums are bad, but I'm not leaving my kid with a bum.
No, but that's my point. There's no one supervising these kids. So these 3 kids are playing pirates, and the little girl's crying because she can't play pirates with them because she's got to be the damsel in distress. They need someone to see. You're just hammering out, huh?
Yep.
That's what this is right here?
Yep.
This is what you're doing?
This is not a deep movie, guys. This is so surface level stupidity.
Anyway, Diana teaches the little girl to disembowel the kids with a stick in like 3 seconds, and she kicks the crap out of the kids.
Yeah.
But then a bunch of people are staring at them, and a cop's staring at them, and Steve Trevor says, "We got to get you out of here before I get arrested for prostitution." That's literally what he says.
Yes,
he's saying, "You look like a prostitute, Diana. We got to get you out of here."
Yes.
We got not only do you look like a prostitute, we got to dress you in more acceptable fashion.
Yes.
So that
We'll take you to this business office. You're dressed like a businesswoman.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
The movie's terrible.
I don't like fish out of water movies for a reason, TJ. Most of the time, they're just really just.
This isn't even a fish out of water movie. There's like
it's not
15 minutes of that at most.
No, it's fish out of water. From him going to them and then her going to his place, like it's fish out of water shit.
But there's not enough time focused on them being different at all.
It's mostly the difference is you're a man, I'm a woman. That's the difference. That's we can't live together. It's like a shitty 70s, 80s sitcom. Like, we got male, female roommates. How are we gonna make this work out? It's dumb.
And then we get to the character that I think is destroyed the most. So they go to this office and they meet this woman called Etta Candy.
Yes.
And she's just a stereotypical attractive woman who's girly and, because you can't have a woman like that. That's not how women are supposed to be. They can't use their feminine wiles or nothing to get a guy that they like or whatever.
Yes.
So she comes, she's just like, "Oh, you're with this girl? Come with me, Steve. Can you lift this heavy desk for me?"
So how is she destroyed? Was she in the comics?
Etta Candy is a soldier.
Okay.
Through and through. She's a badass character. She's on par with Steve Trevor in the comics as far as skill and stuff like that. She's his partner in some things. She's also a side character to Diana. She's essentially a sidekick almost to her in certain aspects of her. So, and I know this is going to come off as hypocritical of me considering the rant I did earlier, but in the comics, she's fat. She's heavy.
Yeah. Well, how's it hypocritical of you?
Because of that, me talking about this displaying people and stuff like that. But, it's...
this hypocrite, guys. Mister, I'm not a fanboy. You're a fanboy,
but
man.
Etta Candy is a representation of a people, essentially, that normally doesn't get represented in... fiction and stuff like that, and they made her into an attractive blonde. You know what she is right now in the comics?
Lois Lane.
She's a heavy set bald black woman.
No, I don't like that because I don't like that because it's the easy. Let's check off all the chat boxes at once to make that show she represents everyone. Like if you said she was lesbian too and had missed one foot because she has diabetes and she also identifies as trans or some shit, you're just going down a checklist let's make everyone happy with this one character. That's what I don't like about that. I don't mind if she's black, bald, and overset. That's cool. But I just feel like they're trying to do all the check marks.
Okay, and maybe you're right with that.
That's what I don't like about that.
But
yeah.
she, in the comics, she was never an attractive, thin,
Yes.
long hair blonde.
Yes, and I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that. That's
And she's portrayed as a floozy in this when she's supposed to be a main character, or at least a side character in the Wonder Woman lore. It's absolutely disrespectful to the character.
It is. It is. So I remember her in the Wonder Woman movie. She is,
and this whole scene is like 3 minutes.
Yeah,
and it's Wonder Woman pretty much saying, "You're not a woman. You can't get that pen by yourself. Look at me lift this desk. You're weak. What's wrong with you?" As if it's something wrong with, how she wants to be,
Exactly.
So Wonder Woman, Diana's not a good person either.
No. But then again, that's how they talk to each other back in the Amazonian. That's how the sisters talk to each other. That's how, what?
I actually kind of like Diana in this. She's the best part of this movie when she's not preaching.
Yeah. That's it. They preach. That's what it is.
Anyway, they're in this office building that has computer military technology to search for things. I don't even know how they're searching for Ares, but they don't find them here. Whatever.
No.
And so after they can't find them, so they're gonna have to wait.
Let's go to
Steve Rogers.
No. What's his name?
Captain America. Steve Trevor decides to take Diana to a bar.
Yep. And why is he taking her to a bar, TJ?
To get her drunk so he can sleep with her. That's literally exactly.
Yeah.
You could. He's like, "You may have your last of truth, but I have tequila, and you could tell by the look, I'm gonna get you so drunk that you're gonna go home with me." That's his plan.
Yep.
That is literally his plan. It's disgusting.
It's terrible. He says it because he wants to loosen her up and so she could talk and tell him truths, but that's why he wants sick stuff.
Why? Because by the end of it, he tries to kiss her.
Yep. It's terrible. It's gross. I hate this. I hate this character. It's so bad.
So during their talk, as they're drinking tequila shot after shot, they do talk about how Zeus once turned into a swan to seduce one of the Amazons, which I thought was funny because that actually happened in Greek mythology, not to an Amazon, but
no.
So just how ridiculous it is. But yeah, so Steve Trevor is drunk and Diana's not because she's an Amazon and she can hold her liquor.
I like that.
And he tries to force himself on her, and
I don't like that.
Slams his face into the ground and storms out into an alley.
Yes.
And he's like, "What's wrong? What do you mean, what's wrong?"
You just tried to... To be fair on him, I guess. I'm not trying to defend this guy like this, but he maybe misread the situation because he was overly drunk. That's the only defense I can give the guy.
She has never once played into his flirtatious ways.
She's been straight-faced and staring him down and always been like, "No, I'm not going to kiss you." She always denied every kiss from him. So yeah, I just think in his drunken stupor, that's the only defense I can give him.
In his drunken stupor, he let his what's it called? Inhibitions go.
Yeah.
And thought he could just push himself onto her.
Yeah. Yeah, no, to be fair, because I never done that much drunken stupor. So you know what? He's an asshole. He's just a shitty person. Yeah. He's a badly written, shitty character.
And Diana, he's like, storms out and she's like, "My mom told me you would try this bull fucking shit." And at this point, I can't believe where this romance is going to end up.
Yeah.
Because he is terrible.
Even later on, he doesn't get better.
No, he never improves.
And not once does he become okay, he's actually a good... No, he's just a sexist, childish man-child, and it's terrible. He's not even charming enough to let the shit go. He's not even,
that's the worst part.
He's not even like James Bond. At least James Bond can be somewhat suave. This guy is just no, you're that asshole. You're just bad.
He's not even charming.
Not in the slightest.
No charm. There's nothing. He's not a ladies' man. He thinks he is.
Yes. And I guess that's the joke.
God.
It would be the joke if he never ended up with her, but he ends up with her at the end. No.
And not only that, we go back to Etta Candy. Etta Candy was all over him. So apparently it works for him. Ugh. And so it's
yeah, it's gross. It's grotesque.
Anyway, they go into an alley.
And of course, what happens in the alley, TJ?
Well, it's a superhero movie. They get robbed. They're lucky they didn't try to rape her.
I was waiting for it. I was waiting for them to say some rapey shit, but no, it was just some mugging.
No. They're here to mug the 6'5" Amazonian woman. Which, okay, sure, she's in a dress, but okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to mention. Back at the competition, the last trial was them shooting arrows at
Oh yeah.
the two Amazonians that were left, and they had to block them with the bracers. In the comics, it's not arrows; it's an actual gun.
That's weird.
They shoot at them with a gun, and they have to block it.
Definitely makes more sense.
Yeah. Well, they don't know what guns are. They call it like the flashing light or something like that.
Okay.
Like this stupid thing. It's like, but they view it as this very dangerous and powerful thing.
Yeah, which it is. But it makes sense because it makes more reasons why she can do it now in the story.
Right. It set a precedent.
Yes. Because if you're just blocking arrows, yeah, it's an arrow. It's fast, but it's not as fast as a bullet. So, yeah. I get it.
So, yeah, she deflects a bunch of bullets and kicks the robber's ass. And then another guy comes down the aisles, and Steve Trevor thinks, yeah, I can take care of this one. And he can't because it's an Ares minion called Deimos. So, Deimos is the son of Ares and Aphrodite in Greek mythology.
Mm-hmm.
And in the comics.
Yes.
And in the comics, he was actually the bad guy for the storyline that they're supposedly adapting. Because Ares is technically sealed away at this point.
Yeah.
So what his plan is, he's been manipulating people in both the U.S. government and the Russian government, because Cold War,
Yep.
To get them in positions of power so they can start nuclear war, essentially. So, and by the end of it, they actually take over missile bases and nukes get launched.
That's awesome.
They're stopped, and that's the story behind it. There wasn't like a physical war going on. No, there was a manipulation behind the scenes of getting people in the highest part of government to do it. The story was way better in the comics.
Of course it was.
This was just an excuse to get the action scenes.
Yeah, just have this guy here because fan recognition.
Yeah, exactly. He's just literally here as a minion. He's nothing.
It's the only time to see him.
In the comics, those snakes actually bite Diana and poison her and weaken her, which plays a part into the comics. And in the comics, Diana decapitates his ass.
Of course.
And this one, she just
kicks his ass.
Just kicks his ass, cuts off the snakes, and it's not a bad action scene. It's just eventually she gets them tied down in the lasso of truth, and then he gets bit by his own snakes and evaporates.
Oh, that's kind of anticlimactic.
That's not only that. How are you still alive up to this point if your snakes bite you and kill you?
I mean, I guess because he controls snakes and let them do it.
I guess.
It was like him taking a cyanide pill. Like, it's there, just when I need it.
Okay. I don't know how they get to this next part, but suddenly they're going to a volcano.
At a hidden base that he must know about, I guess.
Like the ashes of Deimos has this symbol of Tartarus on it.
Yeah.
So they figure out that Ares is going to Tartarus so that Hades can remove the bracelets. But why is he carrying that amulet to give you that information? Why was he sent there in the first place to kill her? If you don't want him, if you're just going to do this, if you never sent him in the first place, you would have already got your power back.
Yep. If you know where she's at, just get your power and then go track her down.
So this is the only instance of, the cult of Ares is a bunch of soldiers.
Yes.
Stuff like that. This is the only instance we get from a hint from what was happening in the comics.
Yeah.
That they were manipulated and stuff like that.
Yes.
But so they go there and they start murdering these guys, Wonder Woman and Steve Trevor.
Yeah, straight up.
Like, Steve Trevor breaks one guy's neck.
Uh-huh.
And, they literally murder these guys. But Ares is going to Tartarus, but he needs to open this door, but he needs a sacrifice to do it. And they made it look like he was going to betray his girlfriend Persephone here.
Yeah,
but
I thought he should have, but
yeah, he probably should have, because she really doesn't play much of a role.
No, she's just there.
Yeah,
it would have made him more evil too to do it that way.
Yeah, and I also thought at this point, okay, they're going to see Hades. He's going to give Persephone. Maybe he needs to give Persephone to her, but no, they don't do that either. Nope. So it's like, okay, so he's going to sacrifice one of his cultists here, but then Wonder Woman comes in and stops it with her tiara. But then Hades says a couple words of Latins and releases statues of harpies. And then, there's a giant fight scene, and then one of the harpies grabs Diana in his talons and squeezes her into unconsciousness.
Yes.
Bullshit. Don't believe it. It's Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
She goes toe-to-toe with Ares at full power later.
Exactly.
No way.
And he's a damn god. He's a god at that point. So yeah, no way.
Not only a god, he has got the abilities of all the other gods at that point.
Yes.
Whatever.
My thing is though, when Steve is doing Steve's bullshit, he should be getting the guy off the plate. He should be getting the sacrifice guy off the thing. Like,
yes.
Do that so it's like, just do that.
Oh my god, his job is to stop the sacrifice, but he sees Wonder Woman in trouble. But this is the only reason why she got knocked out, so we can force this bullcrap.
Oh, he's so driven by his dick, it's terrible. I gotta save her so she can save me late. Like, bro.
No, she's gotta save her because she can't handle herself all of a sudden. So he grabs a grenade, and instead of blowing up the altar so it can't do anything,
something,
he jumps onto the harpy that has Diana and throws the grenade in his mouth to give him his gigantic heroic moment. And you know what? He saves her. It's free. Go stop Ares.
Yep.
Why are you running away at this point?
Yeah, he literally takes her and runs away.
Yeah, he takes her, puts her in a helicopter, and runs away. Ares is mortal at this point. He has no powers. You have a gun.
You're a soldier. Exactly. You have a job to do about saving the damn world. Do your damn job.
But no, he runs away. Ares sacrifices the guy, opens the door. They escape in a helicopter. Ares goes on the Tartarus, and we see his Cerberus, the three-headed dog that guards Tartarus, which is cool. But only Hades is allowed to pass. And we see Hades, who's just a fat guy.
Mm-hmm.
That's not... whatever.
It's not. I was like, is this not Hades? Is some other character I don't know about? Like, oh, it's
no,
Hades.
This is apparently Hades.
Yeah, it's like, this isn't... Okay.
He's just a fat guy who...
I mean, I like it, I guess.
Likes being served grapes. I don't know.
It's a direction.
It's a weird interpretation of Ares.
It is. It's like, okay.
It just feels like a Greek emperor or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's stupid. Anyway, Hades is like, take off these bracelets so that I can get more people, kill everybody so you can have more servants. And Hades is like, cool, that sounds good to me. But you have like, how many people have died since the start of mankind?
But he wants more. And he tells you later what happens, but like he wants more.
But it makes the motivation here at this point. It's like,
terrible.
But anyway, right, he's also got Thrax, Ares' son, as his servant, and he's abusing him.
No.
And Ares is like, oh no, my son. Which I don't buy that he would care about this guy either.
Exactly. He barely does care about him. They don't show him caring about him that much. But yeah.
Yeah, no, it's like, but he shouldn't care about him anyway. He always treats his children like crap.
Exactly. Hell, he could have more if he wanted to. Yeah, I don't know.
Whatever. But this half-mortal son of his that, it means the world to him for some stupid reason. Anyway, Ares agrees and takes off his stupid bracelets, and we got full-powered Ares. And then we cut over to the hospital, where we get the big blowout. Man versus woman, essentially.
Steve lays out all his reasons why he did the things he did.
Yeah, and Diana's like saying, he yells at Diana for thinking men are terrible people.
Mm-hmm.
But she has not seen anything to prove that they're not.
Nope. She saw him being a sexist pig the whole time. She saw how the boys treated the girl, the homeless man being a drunkard, which is, I think, good or bad, I don't want to see that. And she has seen nothing positive from men so far. And the soldiers, the Ares, all the men shit that she's seen is like, no, you guys suck.
Why would she think otherwise?
Yes.
You are not helping. Your argument does not make any sense here.
Not at all. I don't think once we see a man do something good in this movie. Oh, man. From the precedent later on, like, no one does good as a man.
The messaging, especially this big blowout here.
Yes.
This big argument is supposed to get both of them to realize that they're wrong and, about what they are and they need to come together and stuff like that. But it just comes off as forced and uninspired, and Diana is not much better, but she has no reason to freaking believe anything he says.
Yes.
He literally tried to get her drunk to sleep with her. Why would she think he's a good guy? He's done nothing. Nothing. In fact, the only thing she's seen him do is try and seduce her and murder people.
Yep. Yep. Oh, plus he was creeping on her sisters at the pool.
Yeah.
Yeah. He just sucks.
Anyway, Ares has got his army, and apparently he decides to invade Washington, D.C., and for reasons. They're at the Lincoln Monument for some reason. Okay.
Yeah.
And so we got our whole war thing. And remember that big blowout like 5 minutes ago? Now they're in the jet apologizing to each other. Everything's all better.
God, this movie, it suffers from trying to be deep, but not knowing how to be deep. And I think it's, I don't know, I can't say it's a 2009 thing. It's just...
No, it's just bad writing.
Yeah. It's like, we got a message, we're going to go that way. It's like, but we don't know how to do it. And it's very, like, film student bullshit I'm watching right now. Like, you have something you want to say and that you truly believe in, but you don't know how to portray it properly and convince and portray the audience and have them believe it.
Anyway, the military's trying to stop Ares and his monsters, and then they decapitate the statue of Lincoln, and nobody messes with Lincoln, apparently.
Yeah, because Lincoln's great.
Anyway, so they're fighting. Diana and Steve Trevor show up, and then the Amazons show up. What?
Not only did the Amazon show up, but how did they show up, TJ?
In ships and on Pegasuses.
How the fuck are they showing up on ships? There's... Is DC by a river or an ocean that I don't know about?
They can build their own ships.
Who?
The Amazons.
But I'm saying, is DC like on the river bay?
Oh, Washington.
Yes.
Oh,
is it a landlocked area, or did I miss something?
I know.
I know for sure if it isn't, there's no ocean next to the damn Lincoln Memorial / the fucking White House. So they somehow magically timed this properly.
Well, that's not only did they manage to time this properly, how did they even know?
Exactly. So how, what, where, when, like all the questions I have for this. Yeah, the battle's cool, but like just how? Who told them? Like what the shit?
I don't know, but
this movie's dumb as shit.
But this invasion's really got the president in a whirl here because he's... For some reason, Themyscira just showed up. Someone must be touching the mirror at Themyscira for some reason. And the president's like, it's their fault. Nuke them.
It's like, what? I can see if that's Ares being close to him messes with his mind. Sure. That makes sense. Because Ares is like that. Sure.
Yep. But no. The president literally just showed us up in the last third of it just to set off a nuke.
Yeah, to drive that plot for some reason.
Anyway, so the nuke gets sets off, and this gives Ares superpowers because, nuclear war, I guess, is the epitome of war and empowers Hades.
Oh my god, they kiss at the end.
Yes, we didn't get there.
Holy TJ, they kiss. What?
You didn't know that?
I was on my phone at the time. They kiss, TJ!
Yeah, I didn't get there yet.
Oh my god!
Anyway, so the nuke's launch, so Steve Trevor steals the invisible jet to go stop it. Meanwhile, Ares summons Amazon zombies.
Yeah.
For reasons.
Because it should be conflicting morally to fight your own sisters.
Yeah.
Amazonians don't give a shit.
Again, we're way off comics here. And this is, you'd think this would be a comic thing. It's not. This is just more fake forced drama, essentially.
Yep.
And then, oh look, Lexa's back as a zombie, and she can fight now because she's dead, and this makes Artemis mad.
Yeah, it's like,
but
wow.
but Lexa's saying this Latin phrase over and over again, and then Artemis is like, okay, I say it. And then all the zombies are no longer under control. And so they're all under control, so they go charge Ares, and Ares snaps his finger, and they all vanish.
It's like a DM had a cool idea for a battle scene and think his PCs are competent for it. Then realizes, oh my god, I'm gonna TPK on my PCs. Here's a gimme. Say this phrase and you guys be fine. And that's what just happened. It's like it's just a poorly planned battle sequence from D&D.
It was like someone said, Amazon zombies? That's awesome.
Yeah, because zombies are popular.
Okay, what do we do with them? I don't know. Make them disappear.
Yeah.
Oh, you remember that character we killed off in the beginning of the movie? Let's bring her back. That'll be like without that plot line to make Artemis have a bit of an arc that no one cares about because who cares?
It's terrible. It's bad.
It feels like this is a
first draft.
A first draft, but not even a first draft. Is like when we get together and try and write a script.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, let's have this, then this, then this, then this.
And this, and this. And then it's like, okay, all right, that's it. No editing. Yeah. Let's just make it into a movie.
There's no one like me there trying to question, like, well, that makes no sense. This makes no sense. And what? There's none of that going on. It's like, yeah, this is all cool. Let's do this.
Yeah, no, it's just a bunch of people and yes in each other to death. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, let's do that.
Like, oh my god. And somehow the movie's only an hour and 13 minutes long. Like, I don't get it. Like, there's so much stupid shit going on in this movie.
And then the battle's raging. Diana's fighting Demon Ares. And now he's got all the gods' powers. He's throwing thunder, lightning bolts at her and stuff like that. Meanwhile, the nuke gets destroyed by invisible missiles from the invisible plane by Steve Trevor because jokes. And then Persephone, is killed by Hippolyta, the queen of the Amazons, because we needed to tie up that storyline that didn't matter, that really served no purpose at all for a side character who means nothing.
Nope.
Then Wonder Woman decapitates Ares.
Yeah, I like it because he's trying to call for Zeus to help him. Like, I thought that was funny.
It was a nice little callback. He thinks his dad's going to save him.
Zeus,
Still don't buy that decapitation's going to kill the all powerful god who has all the godly powers, but just because he got electrocuted by a lightning bolt.
Yeah, it made no sense.
Whatever. The movie's almost over, so let's get this out of the way. And then, they're celebrating, and unfortunately, Steve Trevor kisses Wonder Woman, and they seem to... Oh, back at the hospital scene, their argument, they almost kissed too, but Wonder Woman's like, no, I'm a woman, and you're a terrible man, I'm not doing that. And then now they kiss here, because they built up this relationship so well, and they earned this kiss, even though Steve Trevor is still a misogynist piece of shit. And,
yeah. Because he still is the one that enacts the kiss, and she's surprised by it, but it's like, okay, yes, I'll kiss you back. It's like, she's wiping blood from her nose right now, man. You are the worst person, man.
He does kind of force the kiss on her, too.
He does. I'm watching it right now. And she's like, what?
And they kiss, and all the Amazons just cheer it. It's like, yay, man, all of a sudden. What?
Right? Like,
this is shit.
Right? Like, they didn't have the same storyline she had. They didn't have the same arc. They should still all be hating men. Like,
anyway, with Ares is dead, he's now Hades' slave with his son because of reasons.
Because it's
then
justice.
we cut over the Themyscira, where Artemis is now reading like her sister used to do because she grew as a character. No one cares. Wonder Woman is sad, but her mother, because she had to come back, but she wants to go back to man's world because she misses the misogynist jackass, and so Hippolyta gives her the Wonder Woman offer, and she goes back to the world, and we cut over to her with Steve Rogers, and Wonder Woman speaks up about something Steve Rogers is doing. He opens the door, and she's like, I can open the door myself. She's like, we talk about this, Diana. And she's like, oh, yeah, and I'll conform to all your ways and be whatever kind of woman you want me to be.
Stop it. This is exactly what she says.
Yeah, it's exactly what she says. I'm conforming to what you want me to be as a woman. Fuck you. This is stupid and shit.
How are you going to take a strong, powerful character, be assaulted by a sexist man the whole time, and have the sexist man somehow win in the end? And she's going to be like, yeah, you know what? I'll be a housewife for you, Daddy. Like, no, this is not Wonder Woman. This is bad. This is really egregious. This is bad.
This is really bad.
This is like so ass backwards feminine. Like, this is what you want. This is like what you're doing.
This moment is insulting to this character. It is character destroying at points here.
Oh my god, it is.
This movie is so bad with its characters. I don't understand why people liked it. It's like
I liked it when I first saw it today because I was like, I did critically think and I did blow all the points out to my head, but like, for some reason, it was like, I like the Greek side to this. I like the Greek mythology shit to this. But then we actually sat down and actually talked about it thoroughly, like, we're truly criticizing it. Like, no, this is really f***ing not a good Wonder Woman female
Because
empowerment movie. Like, he's a bad character. She somehow succumbs to his bullshit, even though there's nothing likable about him. Like, this is just me not being a fanboy. This is me being just a critical viewer of this movie. It's like, this is not good.
like the core of the movie's there. Like Wonder Woman herself is fine.
Yes.
The core is there. The problem is everything it's trying to tell you and everything around it.
Yes. It's the preachiness that's not backed up by anything. It's literally like someone read feminist viewpoints on the internet. It's like, you know what? Yes to those, then preaches those things, but doesn't practice those things at all. Or just does, I don't know. It's just something really bad at how this movie is just portrayed. It's just terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah, I'm surprised at how bad this movie is.
Yeah.
I just like, and I know I come at this from a comic book fan, but it literally destroys characters. This movie, and it should not be remembered. Honestly,
no, this is really embarrassing.
We're not quite done yet, so they're about to go. I guess she's living with Steve Trevor in his apartment now.
Ugh.
But so they're going home, but there's a robbery happened, and Diana is like, "I'm gonna go stop it." And he's like, and Steve Trevor is like, "All right, but don't be late for dinner." Whatever, dude.
Yeah.
And so she goes out over there, and the cheetah is actually robbing a bank, and Wonder Woman goes to stop her from robbing a bank, and it's probably the coolest part of the movie, the last 3 seconds of it.
Yep.
And then the movie ends. Thank God, because I was so angry. I was so angry when I finished this movie. I was like, this is not a good Wonder Woman movie. This movie.
It's not. It's not a good movie at all.
I
can't think of anything truly positive about it. Besides, the animation's good. It reminded me of the early 2000s animation I will see on TV, like
it looks
Saturday morning TV show. But the messaging's bad. The characters are bad. There's a lot of plot holes and loopholes to the story and logic. This is just me not even being a fanboy, like I said earlier. It's just me from being just a viewer. So I can only imagine how irritated and pissed you must be from this movie.
So, I mean, voice acting wasn't terrible.
No.
It was actually pretty decent, other than, the distracting Dr. Octopus voice. But
Nathan Fillion distracted me too at first when I first heard his voice.
I don't really know who he is, honestly. So, never saw Firefly. I don't know. I don't think I've seen anything he's in.
You're not a fan. You're not a true nerd. But yeah, nothing's like, it's technically a well-made movie in that aspect of the visuals and audio.
Yeah, technically it's fine.
Yeah, but
without
just
a doubt.
Writing.
The writing is so bad.
Yes.
Like, it's like they didn't even bother to read the comic. It's like, this is loosely based off of a storyline from the comics, and it's like, why'd you even try if you're not going to use any of the elements from the comic?
Would you call that trying? They just used the same setting, the major, I guess, plot beats of it, but the rest of it's like...
It's like, why'd you even fucking bother? This is stupid and crap. You're terrible.
It's bad. It's a bad movie, TJ.
It's really, really bad. I know. I'm upset that it's so bad, because I was expecting it to be a good movie.
Same. Oh, man. You want to rate this dumb thing so we stop talking about it? Unless there's anything else you want to rag about.
What are you giving it?
What's funny, when I first finished watching the movie, I gave it a 7. I gave it a 7/8 out of 10. I was like, this is really good. And I sat there and talked about it. I'm like, yeah, no, this is stupid. This was terrible. The message, like, you can't preach and message something and then have her, that's just, no.
Go against her own morals and judgment.
Man. Like, there's nothing in the movie to persuade her to go that way. There's nothing in this movie. Like, maybe because he held up his end in the fight, I guess. Like, she's a warrior, so, like, that's something, I guess. But, like,
even if they did the story perfectly, there is no way Wonder Woman would conform to that way of life.
No, not at all. I won't conform to your way, sir.
I'm just gonna be what kind of woman you want me to be.
That's so fucking wrong.
It's insulting how bad this is.
I haven't given anything a 1 yet.
No.
Man, this is really close to a 1, TJ. I might give this a 2 because just how upset that's a bad message, man. I couldn't show my daughters this and a daughter. Like, no.
I don't know if I can give it that low for technical reasons and stuff like that.
That's the reason it's getting a 2 out of me, man. If it wasn't technically good, it'd be a 1. So for me, it's a 2. And that's why, because technically it's just good enough. There's nothing in the movie that give me like, oh, this is great.
I just don't feel like the technical side of it and the acting side of it is enough to bring it down. I think you need to have an overall disaster in order to get a 1.
The messaging is all a disaster.
Yeah, but that's just one aspect of everything.
It's a huge aspect because that's all the whole movie was about.
Well,
for me,
yeah,
like from beginning to end, and like it's just.
I'm not giving it higher than a 3. I think 2 is a little harsh.
I thought you were trying to give it a 4 or 5. Like this man better not give this movie a 4.
No. I'm going 3. This is honestly, I think I hated this movie more than any movie we've covered so far.
Batman, the one that broke me, I give that 2 a 2, I think. But that one broke me. This one just really offended me in a sense, like everything we said already. Just the whole like just her conforming at the end, him being just a piggy pig. Like
yeah, it's
not a good movie. If this was made in the 90s, like I could understand. Okay, but it's 2009, people. 2009. If it was made now, if the whole abortion getting overturned, I can understand. But 2009, when women had rights, proper rights, this is bullshit. It's a bullshit movie.
What are you settling on?
2. It's a 2. This movie.
You're giving it a 2.
I want to give it a 1, but like it's just good enough. I can't get a 1.
Yeah, I can't bring myself to give it that because I feel like it's an insult to the actors if we did that way because the actors didn't do anything wrong. It's just everything else is wrong.
That's funny because that's the only reason I'm giving it a 2 is because of them and everything behind the scenes of that point pushes it up to a 2.
Anything, I feel like it's pretty enough, and like even the sound design is pretty good in it, and like the music that's behind it and stuff is pretty decent. So like everything from that everyone else put in this movie to make this movie a good movie, I think is enough to push it up to a 3 for me. Only because of all the work they obviously put into this.
That's the only reason it's not a 1. Because I think if I gave it a 3, it would be me personally admitting that I could probably see this movie again. But I don't think I'd ever want to see this movie again.
I don't think I've given anything lower than a 3. So
I respect that.
I think this is the lowest 3 I can possibly give it.
This is the strongest 2 I can give this. I
didn't expect this was going to be the movie that did not come into this thinking this was the one that was going to be.
Yeah, like it's supposed to be the best 2009 movie, right?
Like it's like it's one thing if a movie's bad. We can sit there and like we can still enjoy a bad movie. We can understand why it's bad and still enjoy factors about this movie. But this movie just made you hate everything about it. It kept insulting you and hurting characters, and just like the way it not only treats women, but the way it treats men too. It's sexist on both fronts, and it's so insulting.
I'm black. That's why I usually hate like black empowerment movies, because not only are they talking down to like non-black people, but then they try to praise black people by doing it in tomfoolery, bad ways. It's the same way with male-female shit. That's why I hate when a Hollywood movie tries to send a message on equal rights for whatever reason, because it just does it so wrong most of the times, and it's just aggravating. It's tiring to see.
And this is why I didn't talk about my opinions before we started going into diving into the review, because I wanted to know what your pure opinion was from an objective standpoint. Because I thought I was coming in at it from a biased standpoint.
No.
Because I came out of this movie hating it. I came out of it like, this is one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
I came out liking it, but the questions I had and things I didn't like in it, I guess were all at once. So like when they came up and they left, like, oh, that was stupid. Why did they do that? I forgot about it because an action scene came up and distracted me, or something else came up and like, oh, that's stupid too. But now that we just sat there and talked through all that shit out, it just resonates. So like, no, this is not. It's not good. It's just not good. It's
not me, good. Man. I was hit one after another with just insult after insult after insult, and I was just like, why are you doing this? What did Wonder Woman do to you?
Yeah. And like you said, the changes they made were so unnecessary. It could have, if they didn't make those changes and they kept the shitty messaging, it would probably be a higher rating, I guess. But the fact they went out the way to do the thing,
at least the story would have been more cohesive, and make more sense instead of this scattered brain things mixed in with terrible messaging.
It's literally a movie that has to movie. Like, okay, we have to go to point A to point B to point C to point because of reasons. let's give an arbitrary reason why they have to go from here to here, and then even then, it's just so weakly like it's bad. It's just bad.
Oh my man!
This is how you not make a movie, guys. This is not how you do a good story. It's just bad.
This movie is so bad that we bitched about it for an hour and a half.
What were they trying to get out of that from us from that?
I don't know. I guess they were wanting you to think girl power and that you know that we are feminists, but you know men are okay too. Once you get past all their sexist stuff and
yeah, there was not one likable quality to the main man or any man in this movie. There was not one passable, redeeming. Oh, I saved the puppy. I'm a good guy, guys. No, he sucked.
No,
and then she just conformed to the shit. At the end, they just like all the Amazonians like, yay, like no.
But even the women aren't portrayed it well. Like the side characters, Artemis is a bitch to her sister. They forced that poor girl onto a battlefield. She ends up getting killed and then forced back into a zombie.
Yeah, none of them have like layers to them. They all have one note. You're this thing, you're that thing, and you're that thing. That's it.
And these are all made up. Most of these are made up characters. Like they're not even from comics. At least if you had took characters from the comic book, you would have a character to work with. You don't have to create your own crappy side shit. Sorry. And Artemis isn't even a side character. She has a character and background that you could have drawn from.
I don't get it. Even the queen was doing dumb shit. Like, you're the queen. You're so anti-man and isolation. You're so like, what?
And yet you're the cause of the entire plot.
Like, you show the man, God damn it. The movie sucks. I want to give it a 1. But I just can't out good nature because it's decently made. Like, god damn it, man, the plot. The story is stupid as
I mean, it's very hard to hold objectivity of this movie because it felt like it was just spitting in your face.
Yeah, because like the first 5 minutes where it sets up everything to be, and it's like, okay, we're going to show you what it should be and like how like everyone's principles should be and what they believe in, and it's you the rest of the movie. Like, this is, no, like, come on. Dumb movie. I got nothing else to say about it.
Yeah, it's pretty rare when I'm more disgusted with the movie than I am our fan base. So,
burn, losers. Okay, spoiler alert, TJ.
Oh. For a movie that came out like 2 years ago.
No. I hate that argument. I hate that. You should have seen it by now. People take their time with things, man.
Okay.
I'm doing a dumb podcast.
I'll agree with you, but there's at least you have 5 years before your spoiler.
I refuse that because there's so much, especially now. There's so much content out there, and there's not enough time to actually watch all the content, no matter how much of a fan you may be of that thing.
All right.
Like,
well, then we'll say this. If it's before 2015, you're getting spoiled.
No, because like there's so even back then the history of film and television.
You won't be allowed to talk about anything, and that's stupid.
No, you can talk about. I don't think.
I'm sorry. Guess what? Dorothy of The Wizard of Oz.
But see, that's the thing. Like, you can't spoil those movies because you've seen it and it's from the whenever time it came out.
I'm not going to go out
people who are like 12 years old haven't seen it yet, but like, I want to see The Wizard of Oz. Like,
I'm not going to go out of my way and spoil a movie for someone who hasn't seen it. If you haven't seen a movie, I'm not going to come to you and say, hey, doing that. But I'm not going to not talk about a movie that's been out for 100 years now.
I will only talk about it as like, hey guys, we've all seen this, right? If someone says no, I'll say, do you care if I spoil the thing for you? You haven't seen this old movie yet? And they say, I don't care, then yeah, I'll spoil it. If they do care, fine, I won't talk about the thing.
I'm just saying, like, I'm not going to refrain from talking about stuff on this podcast for spoilers of a movie 15 years ago. I refuse.
I will. Because some of the movies I'm going to pick for our podcast are so old that I haven't seen. I know most people haven't seen. So, I don't know.
But I wouldn't care if I got spoiled on them.
Some people would.
Like, the only time I really care about spoilers is if it's new, you know what I mean? And I plan on going and seeing it. Or if it's a movie that's, built around the twist, you know what I mean?
Signs. People spoil the shit out of Signs. Like, that's the thing that was not Signs. what's his first one he made? The I See
The
Dead
Sixth
People one.
Sense.
Yes, like that one was spoiled. That's in pop culture, and that's how spoiled it is.
Mhm.
And if I didn't know that going into the movie, that movie would have been leagues better than
Yes.
what I saw. But I knew the spoiler going in because you should have seen it by now. Like, bitch, I was 10 when that movie came out. I think I'm not gonna see that movie. And
No,
then
but that's my argument. Only when it's new is it supposed to not be spoiled. Once you get past a certain amount of years, it's in the thing, and you're spoiled.
Bullshit.
It's on you.
I hate that.
It's on you.
Like that shit. Like, come on. And these are such major twists. That's why they're in the pop culture. But like, there's such major pinnacle points in the story of that movie, and like the fact that it's spoiled for everybody who hasn't seen that thing yet. It's like I feel bad because you're not gonna have that experience of like, oh my god, wow. But granted, it's still a cool feeling. Like, oh, that's the thing. But like,
you can't just gatekeep things, gatekeep stuff for people talking about things behind the off chance that someone hasn't seen it. It's stupid.
I think a point it should be your responsibility. Yes, I'm not saying you should. I don't think you should step on eggshells the whole time.
At a point, the responsibility falls on the person to watch that popular movie, and that's not everyone else's responsibility to stay quiet about that movie for one person who hadn't seen it. No,
it's not just one person; it's a whole generation of people. Maybe it's just so many people who have not seen a thing for multiple reasons. They haven't seen a thing. Maybe because they don't want to. Maybe they don't have the time to. Maybe there's this. They have so much shit to watch that's like middle of the list.
That's on them.
No, that's bullshit. That's bullshit.
That's on them.
That's bullshit. Anyway,
I honestly think as soon as a movie's out of the theater, it's spoiler. You're free to spoil.
You are allowed to talk about it. Obviously, I'm not going to stop from talking about it.
I'm not saying be a jerk and say, "Guess you didn't see this movie? Guess this is what happens." You have to know everything that happens. I'm not saying that. Be respectful to a person who hasn't seen the movie. Yeah. Sure, but I'm not going to sit here on my podcast and not talk about things that I have seen just in case someone out there has not seen it.
At least just say a quick spoiler alert. That's all.